Hello, hello. This is me in the first few minutes of waiting to find out if this is working, and I'm apparently, according to the data, losing people watching it already. So I'm just going to try and keep you entertained whilst also hopefully finding out that it's working. And we've already got some funny chat comments. Love that. Adam mislaid his fiddle. It wouldn't be the first time. I once mislaid my fiddle, only for it to appear on the shores of Loch Ness. And it looks like it is working. Let me know if you can hear me okay, first of all. So you very good people of my live stream, I need you to help me sound check. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I'll just keep talking. Chuck in some feedback in the comments, please. Yes, I once lost my fiddle. For those of you who don't know me, I think most of you here probably do know me, but in case you don't know me, oh yeah, I should say hello. My name is Adam Sutherland, fiddle player, composer from the Highlands of Scotland, and you can hear me fine. Thank you, Petra. And I'm from the Highlands of Scotland still, like I just said. And I once lost my fiddle, only for it to turn up on the shores of Loch Ness 3 days later, by which point I had called the police because I thought it had been stolen. Turns out I had been perhaps drinking with some friends in a great pub called the Doors Inn. Doors is a village on the south side of Loch Ness, and I had been there, and we'd taken a walk out to this beautiful point which looks right down Loch Ness. Loch Ness is very long and thin, in case you're unaware, and I apparently, it turns out, took my fiddle with me and left it there, although my memory at the time told me that I hadn't taken it with me and I'd left it at the pub. So when I got back to the pub after the walk, there was no fiddle there, and I thought I had been wronged. And in a way I had been wronged, but it wasn't by some nefarious stranger seeking to steal my lovely fiddle. I'd been wronged yet again by myself. I had effectively stolen my own fiddle. So thank you, Michael, for reminding me about the time I lost my fiddle. Hey everyone, good to see you here. Alright, I'm going to do something that I've never done before, ever. I'm going to try and record myself playing, and whilst doing that, I'm going to like live stream that. So normally when musicians, I say mostly musicians, professional musicians or otherwise, record themselves, it's not something that you ever hear or get a window into in the process of actually recording it. It's normally, I think, people who end up following the musicians or listening to their music, they usually just get the finished product. And I'm trying something here, which is I'm gonna like just share with you the process, not just here's the final product all polished up. I'm just gonna share with you, warts and all, the actual making of some music. So that's what I'm going to try and do, and I'm going to try and do it live on the internet. So I'll be amazed if there aren't some quite sizable technical difficulties. I've spent the whole afternoon trying to work out how to do this. I can tell you a boring fact, and that is that I have to have a 25 millisecond pre-delay on the signal on the video, because when I play my fiddle along with the track, it's not in sync. So to make it not really annoying for you to watch, so that what I'm playing isn't like slightly late, I've spent quite a long time footering. So hopefully when you hear the track and you hear me playing the fiddle, it sounds like in time. I'm not going to tell you any more about that because that's really boring, but there you go. Great, couple of questions. Do you use a backing track? Yes, except I wrote it all, and I'll actually just tell you a bit about this music first of all. This piece of music, it's a tune, a fiddle tune, which I have been commissioned to write. No, it's there on the screen. Hopefully you can see that now. Moira's 90th, and it's a tune, as you can see hopefully on the screen, written for a lovely lady called Moira, who's turning 90 years old, and a very, 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 very lovely gentleman called Donald, and his partner Petra, who's here in the live stream just now. They've been really supportive, massively supportive of me for many years now, and this is frankly just the latest supporting thing that they've done to me, and they've asked me to write this piece of music. And I guess that's one of the things I want to just share with viewers of my YouTube channel, is that I can be hired to write a piece of music for you, and that's what I've done here. So that's the dots there, and I've been writing and recording all the various bits and bobs and parts. You can see a bit of a longer video on all the various bits that do make up the accurately described backing track in another video, but today I'm going to try and just do what I normally, like I said, normally I would just do this on my own at home here, or if I was in a professional recording studio with a band, you would do it just with them, but it would be very much behind closed doors to the public. But that's what I'm going to try and change today. I'm going to just share with you the solo, and when I say a solo, it's the solo, it's not jazz that I'm doing, but conceptually it's jazz, because it's not like I'm playing a thing on my own solo which has been pre-written. I have absolutely no idea what's going to come out here. As I was getting the sound set up earlier, I started noodling a bit, and I just made myself stop because I want it to be literally the first shot that I try at soloing in this section is what you hear. So it really is not, I have no idea what this is going to be like, but that's it. So any more questions, or should I just what's that show that just came to mind? You ever watch that TV show, The Crystal Maze? Was it Richard O'Brien? Start the fans, please. The very, very last bit of The Crystal Maze. If you haven't seen The Crystal Maze, that is a really annoying, meaningless quote. But if you have, maybe you'll remember the end of each episode of The Crystal Maze. Start the fans, please. And I'm going to start off by just checking that my fiddle is in tune. I think that's not a bad way to start. My A string is slightly sharp. Here we go. D string's a bit flat. So I'm going to share with you now the screen which shows you the Logic session. What is a Logic session? Well, Logic is the name of a computer program that you can use to record your music into. It's like a recording music software program. There's quite a few different ones out there. This one's called Logic. It's made by Apple. Logic Pro X is the nerdy official title of it. But let's see if I can share that screen with you just now, and you'll see a different camera come up. I've set up a wee camera in the top left of the screen so that you can just kind of get a wee bird's eye view of me doing this. There's a lot on this screen. I won't go through absolutely every single thing, but I will just draw your attention here to this yellow rectangle. This represents the section that I'm going to be soloing over, and this is called a cycle section, and when you hit play, the bar goes from the left to the right, and then when it gets to the end, it immediately goes back to there again. So when I start recording, I'm going to have what you suppose you'd call a pass at it. I'm going to take a shot at having a solo. I just got an image in my head there of Eddie the Eagle doing that mad ski jumping thing. Why am I making loads of 80s, 90s references? But I'm basically going to have throw myself off this kind of musical precipice. It's going to take me through playing the backing track, and when it gets to the end, it's going to just put me back to start again, and I'm probably just going to have another go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a few goes. I'm just extending it a little bit so that the end of the solo, I don't even know where I'm going to stop soloing actually. This is all solo left to right. Here where it says solo B, this is actually the second part of the tune returning again. I'm not totally sure I think what I might do is they end the solo here, but I'll probably just record the tune a little bit there, and then it comes back to what I think is just the A part of the tune. It's kind of the end of the whole piece then. A couple of questions. Gavin, what mic do you use for the fiddle? I'm using 2 microphones. One of them is the one that you can see I'm pointing at here. This is V67 from a company in, let me just see, Latvia. And a very good friend of mine and incredible musician, guitar player, singer, producer, engineer, a guy called Mark Clement, very kindly, just of his own accord, got in touch with me one day saying I found a great deal on these microphones. He didn't have to do that. I didn't ask him. He just did that. That's the kind of guy he is. So it's V67 cardioid condenser microphone. And I'm also using a Neumann high strings, is it called? It's a Neumann clip-on microphone, and this is a close mic, so I'm kind of blending these two together. I'm very much experimenting with the best microphone position. I'm basically just massively experimenting on multiple levels here. But yeah, I'm going to use 2 different microphones, so I will actually draw your attention down here. So these are the 2 tracks that I've got dedicated for these 2 microphones: solo V67, solo Neumann, and they're both going to go at the same time. And you can see as I talk just now, the V67 is registering input there. Hopefully not too much, hopefully not too little. And as I talk here, you'll see solo Neumann, that's also registering a bit there as well. So I think we're pretty close to just having a go at doing this. But what I think I might do, I wonder if I should just, I think I might actually extend this loop section first time round anyway, just to kind of get warmed up here. I'm going to start right back at the beginning of the track. It'll also just give you a little bit of a chance to hear the track, and I'm a big believer in chronology being really important. What I mean by that is if I could just go straight in and record the solo right now, but I feel like it wouldn't. I need to feel like everything that's come before has happened, just happened, so that I'm ready for what I feel is what is needed from the solo, rather than just jumping straight in at the start of the solo, which I could do. I want to just get myself as if I'm listening to it, as if I have to put myself in the position of, I have to imagine that I'm listening to the track essentially, or that I'm you listening to the track. And I have to do that. I have to have listened to what you've just listened to. So I think I'll do that, and it'll give you a chance to hear what happens before the solo. So I might just do that. Will I just keep doing that and looping the whole thing? I might do that and then just stop and do it again and start from the solo section. But I'm going to put my headphones on. I'm going to take a sip of water. Excuse me, hopefully this isn't too slurpy. Headphones on, and I will be very happy and relieved if all of this tech doesn't trip me up and all these wires don't trip me up. And Eric's just saying, yeah, accompany the tune from the start, flow into a solo. Yeah. And Linda, are you recording your first attempt? Yeah, this is going to be my first ever attempt at this solo, and I'll just chuck in some other things. I'll probably do a lot of stuff over the top of the tune that I'll probably delete. So I'm not too worried what that sounds like, but it's just a way of kind of loosening up, limbering up for the solo section. So before I hit record, there's a couple of things I need to do. I need to record, enable the 2 tracks. So those 2 flashing R's there, that means they are primed and ready to record. And I'll hit play and you guys can tell me, can you hear, if you can hear the track or not. That would be a good thing. Just make sure it's all working. In fact, yeah, I'll do this as a kind of semi-sound check preparatory thing. Also, Highlander, nice to have you here. Okay, so I'll hit play and see what happens. Wow, I am so nervous right now. I'll actually just check my tuning one more time. Okay, let's hit R on the keyboard, which means it's going to be going. So just let me know in the comments if you can hear the track and you can hear the fiddle. Yeah, sound check, and then I'll go for it. Okay, a couple of things. I forgot to put my metronome on, so when it got to the section with no kick drum, I was really winging it there quite wildly. That was one. Thanks for the comments. The other thing I forgot to do was put my tuner on my screen. I like to have the tuner up. Just to, it's like a safety blanket. Safety blanket? I don't know. It's like a life belt. Even if you are playing in tune, it just provides some reassurance, and also, frankly, it just saves you the bother. So I'm going to just do another one now. I think I'm not going to do the whole track, and what I'm also going to do is the very end I'm going to unmute some sections here so that it doesn't just stop. Thank you, Petra. Your opinion is very, very important, as you are basically one half of the commissioning people. So I'm going to just check, do I have these sounds at the end? Okay. Yeah, they're there now. There's a whole pile of other sounds in the mix there that aren't there because I've unplugged a wee hard drive. BBC Symphony Orchestra sounds, so it's a little bit threadbare sounding compared to how it will sound eventually, but I think that's okay for the purposes of just doing this. So yeah, I'm going to save those, keep those. I'm not going to do any of the listening back at this stage. I'm going to shorten the cycle, so I'm going to be dropped in at the B part of the tune before this solo section. So what I need to do now is I need to actually just do a little bit of duplicating. I need to just duplicate this track and this one so I can have another shot at these. And I'm going to mute my two attempts there, so when I play along again, they're not blasting down my headphones. And yeah, this time when I get to the end, it's going to just loop me back. I think I'm going to just make a few passes at it. I don't know if that one was the one or not. I'm not even really looking back at a separate stage. You'll see when I've had a few passes, you can then kind of have a wee listen back. I do find quite often that when I take a solo, it ends up being the first one is the best. It's like you've got the most energy. Always check your tuning in between a take. Okay, so I'll just do another few takes. What Logic does is that each time you complete a take, what happens is there's someone knocking at the window. It might be my daughter. I'll have to sadly ignore her. That's live streaming from your shed for you. I'll just check. Oh no, it's okay. Okay. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, when you do a take, when you get to the end, it just starts you again, and it puts what you've just done into a take folder, and it just allows you to just keep going. So here we go. Taking our few shots at this. Are we good to go? I have the tracks record enabled. I have my tuner up. I think I'm in tune. And this time I think I'm going to maybe just do a little bit more unhinged, perhaps. I don't know. Let's go. Here we go. That was you probably heard it kind of go beyond the kind of point of it started getting more or less. I'm not wording that very well. It I think I went beyond the point of doing any more. It's quite draining, not in a bad way, just like it should be draining. You're draining your soul, you're pouring your soul into it, and at least that's what I'm trying to do. I think there's a wee young person outside the shed here. I'm just gonna change the screen back now. Okay. Whew. Let's see. How do I do that again? My brain's a little bit empty if I do that. Okay. Yeah, that's something I've never done before. It's quite intense doing, even just doing that on your own. You're like, yeah, I find that quite intense. Okay, I'll just look at some of the comments and questions. I'll go back up a bit. So, hearing each mic isolated. Thank you, Petra. I'm Michael Bishop. Am I likely to chop sections from each track? I usually and historically have just done a solo and thought that's the one and that's it, but I never like to say never. What I just did there is a lot of information. There's a lot of notes. So I don't even know what I think. I think like you guys were basically in a better position to know which was best or most likable. You're in a better position than me because I'm kind of in it. So in essence, you guys are the producers, or if you were the producers, you'd be the ones going, I liked take 3, or actually Petrus just said you liked the last take, so there you go. So I currently have no concept of what is, I don't like to use the word best, but which one I like the most. I think I felt that towards the end it got a bit more, I think I cleared out a lot of the, I don't know, stuff and found something. A good solo for me is one that takes you on a journey, and I think I was trying to get the hang of that, just starting with a little bit of gentle dipping the toe in the water rather than just going all guns blazing. Pet had a similar thought. Oh, sorry, Gavin. All sounded good, but felt you got into the vibe on the second take. So this is interesting. Different opinions there. Similar thought early on. Loved second bit of the first take and first. I'm actually really going to use these notes. If this is what a producer would be doing, that they'd be listening and taking notes. They'd be going, so that when they finish, then you could kind of have a discussion about what, if any, you use. Is this interesting? This is what the recording process is about. You're not just recording parts, particularly when you're doing a solo. You're trying to capture something. Ideally, I think. This is what producers do many things, and the definition of the word producers is not even something that I don't think everyone entirely agrees on, but a producer would be kind of going, which one is the best, which one is going to be the one. And a great producer, I think, would have the performing person feeling good, or maybe they wouldn't be feeling good, but they would be doing their best. They would bring out of them their best work. And when you're self-producing like I am, you kind of have to be the producer. You have a producer brain and you have artist brain and producer brain. I'll probably listen to these on a different day. I might even I might put them on my headphones. I will export several different versions of the track, each one with a different solo, and just listen to them and try and listen to them in a way that's just like pretend like I've never heard anything before, just to see how it hits me. Maybe even a week later. I don't think I'm going to wait a week actually, but there we go. A couple more comments. I'll just say, yeah, phrase changes better in the second. Hey Kate, take a day or two before coming back. Wow, you've just literally asked. I answered the question that you were also. Thank you so much. There was one bit when the chorus went syncopated. Your slower overlay was nice. I think there was what's called spiccato bowing. That just to go back to what Michael was asking about, will I chop up bits? I think that's a thing I might actually chop up and maybe not necessarily have as this solo, but it might be like just another little chunk that might be a layer in the arrangement, or maybe it will be part of the solo. I don't know. This is a separate. It's a separate thing. The mind. It's a bit vulgar, but I call it mind spew. You just go, bleh, without really looking back too much. That's one stage, and then the second stage is you look at what you've spewed up and you poke it with a stick. I know that's really minging, but that's oh look, a bit of carrot. Sorry, that's just how I like to think about it. So there you go, and that's almost an hour has passed. There's a wee young person outside wanting me to give them attention, so I should probably go and do that reasonably soon. It is way past their bedtime. Yeah. How about we have a little? Let's have a wee listen, just to see just to see if it worked. There's always this thing like, did that work? So what you could do here is, oh, Sorley, always with the spew analogy. Thank you, Sorley. Yeah, I mean, it's something that unites people everywhere, isn't it? The world is full of division, but there are certain things that we all do. And llamas do it as well, which is so interesting. Anyway, tangents. Michael Bishop says, yes, that opinion is vital indeed. Let's just see if it worked. Did it work? Can I remember this shortcut? So is it Shift Command Control U? Yeah, I got it. So what I just did there was all those individual takes, it then just made them into individual tracks. I can do the same with this one here. So where is it? So you see that's all. Oh, you can't see the screen. That would be handy if I just shared the actual screen with you. My apologies. I'm just like in my own world there. Sorry everybody. Let's just transition back. Okay. So these are all my takes. Alright, so if I was gonna comp one together, comping one together means you take little bits from each one. I would be able to do that quite easily as a feature of Logic Pro, but I don't think I like that. I think I prefer just to get a full take, and that's my production values, shall we say. It feels more real, although I suppose part of the art of making records is it just has to seem real. It doesn't actually have to be real, but that's a whole other conversation. So I've clicked on this. Here you go. If any Logic Pro users, here's my favorite shortcut: Shift Command Control U. All my individual takes are now exported to new tracks. That little bit there is just the last bit one. I'll delete that, delete the track it's created, delete that, and now we have all of these. Solo V67 A 5 4 3 2 1. So what I'm going to now do is select all of these. This is so boring. And is it Shift Option N? No, Shift. Oh, undo that. Shift Command Option N. I've now named all my tracks after the takes. I'll do the same thing. This is just a little bit of organizing. I have no idea if this is what you tuned in for, but here we go. Shift, Option, N, no, Command Z, Shift, Command, Option, N. I'm still learning these. Right, so of all my takes, these are called regions. These are all now named after that. So I'm going to just solo one. Ha ha ha. No, actually, I'm going to mute all the rest of them. That's what I'm going to do. These are all muted. So this is just like, wait, which one did people like? Let's try and find it. The last one? Let's just try the last one. I'm not like ignoring anyone's opinions. I'm just going to pick one. And this might not be quite in time. I might have to do a bit of moving around. Let's just see. I'm just zooming in a bit here. That's the solo start. That's it there. Hey, Andrea. So there you go. I just did a little bit of a I added some channel strip settings, as they're called. Hey, Andrina. And I put some little bit of EQ. This bit here it sounded a bit nasal. So if it's nasal, it's quite often around 1000 hertz. There you go. I'll just show you that actually. Have a listen to this. Where is it? That's that frequency. I've taken it down a bit. Listen to it without that done. Hear that nasal vibe? That's what I've taken out. There's still lots more things I could do to that. Now, just for a bit of crack, I also put some reverb on it. Reverb is a very debatable thing, whether or not you have it or not. I personally, with this whole track, I've tried to keep it really, really, really dry. it just felt like having it dry. But what that means is that if everything's dry and you have one thing with reverb, just one thing, I found it makes that reverb sound really nice. If everything has bits of reverb on it, it's just a bit OTT. So I'll show it. I mean, I'm just gonna this section here. So here's the solo. Right, that's the reverb turned off. What I quite like actually was maybe having it dry until it gets to this B part, or drier. So this is a volume control and the reverb, basically how much I'm sending. So have a listen. Dry means no reverb, but as it gets to this B part, have a listen to this. There you go. What if we put on all the solos at once? This is probably going to sound terrible, but like, it can be quite entertaining. And also sometimes just, I think it's good to try stuff. A lot of trial and error. Sometimes you find fun stuff by just trying. So I'm just going to unmute all of the solo attempts. So that's each solo with two different microphones, and I'm going to just hit play. This is probably going to sound a bit much, but you never know. You ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Actually, I'll just start it from the solo section. Here we go. You ready? That's a bit chaotic, but some of it wasn't actually too bad. I don't know. This is like a totally different stage, isn't it? It's just like you're just going for it. I have, just in case you're wondering what I was doing on the left here, I have like channel strip settings that I've used in the past. So these two compressors and just my attempts to make my fiddles not sound quite so crazy. Oh, you guys are liking that? Do you know what? Here we go. So what I quite like there is the spiccato bowing. Which track was that again? Let's find out. Not that one. Right. Let's keep this one. Okay, so you know that's not a thing to keep. But it did sound kind of like fun in the mix. Did you not think like? Now you're in the world of chaos. Gavin, an EDM trick to expand the reverb and suck it out when the beat comes back in. Yeah, totally do that. But you like leaving the reverb in once it's there, like sailing off into sunset. Again, yeah, that's cool. That's good to hear, Gavin, actually. Yeah, reverb is like, it's such a strong, it's like how much salt do you have in your food, you know, or if any. But you see what I mean by just having one thing with reverb on it? It's better than everything. So everything is very dry. Where is the take? Where is the take with the spiccato at the start? Let's find that. Was it take 2? Apparently I wasn't playing anything in take 2. Ah, here we go. That's the same take with the Neumann mic and the 67. I'm not convinced that EQing is actually the best, but let's just do that same thing we did before. I wasn't really going to go down the EQing rabbit hole here on live on YouTube, but oh, there's a wee one outside the door. Oh, okay. I should probably go and be a dad again quite soon. So there you go, and you can see just how easily you can lose many hours of your life, and just how, I guess, how much just the recording process is one stage, and then there's the other stage. So that's just like, this is what I love to do. I cannot express to you how much enjoyment I get from doing this. It's really just quite exciting just doing it, and it's the yeah, this is what I want to do. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s particularly, I really wanted to be able to like write big bits of music, but I just thought I'll have to find someone who can do all that tech stuff, because I don't care, and I just wish I could go back in time. I don't think it's good to have regrets, but if I did have one, it's that I didn't start doing this 20 years ago, because I would be a lot better at it by now, and I would have written much bigger pieces of music. But I'm loving it now, and I'm going to bring this to a close gently. Thank you for all your kind comments. Really means a lot. And thank you for joining me in this really mad thing to do. It was risky because, you know, the whole thing about playing on records and releasing them is that it's all really polished, you know, but doing this from, you know, right from the very straight from the forge, hammering away with sparks flying, it's not polished by definition, and it's just a very starting point. But this was made a lot easier for me by you guys chipping in with your comments, and it goes a long way. And yeah, I write tunes for people now. I've been doing it for a while, but I do it more like this, so I should probably just shamelessly promote that fact, that side of my business. If you want a tune written for a loved one, get in touch. A lot of the people ask how that works. What happens is I send you some tunes, and if you like one, it's really important to me that you really like it. If you really like it, then we can talk about different packages. It's like the basic package is just a solo fiddle recording with a copy of the tune sent to you framed and you name the tune, you get to name it, and I add some extra text. And then like top packages, this, a big fat arrangement, and it's really important to me that people who do this really love the tune and it feels right. And if it doesn't feel totally right, I actually won't. If it doesn't feel totally right to you, then I actually won't do it. It's like it's got to be absolutely. If it's really important, it's so important to me that the people who do this are not just like happy, but hopefully absolutely delighted. So yeah, that's enough about that. That's what I do, and it's something I hopefully will be able to do more of, because if I can, from a purely business paying the bills point of view, if I can get paid to do this, then I can get paid to do what I love, and I can get paid to essentially study and get better at it. And hopefully this kind of thing will help me on my journey to writing music, bespoke music for, I'd love to write film music, TV music, and this is my hope, is that by writing music for people like this, it's a way of learning the chops, and on my way to writing film score stuff. But also it's so important just that it's meaningful and beautiful as an experience to people who do it. So I'll stop talking about that. Thank you, Petra. Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Eric. Eric, you were in a session in Morpeth, regular tunes. This was a really fun one. I'm not going to take part in slagging of sessions in Morpeth, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. So many nice comments. Yeah, I think that might be my longest live stream yet. Let me know if you just anything, if you want me to do more of this, less of this. I don't know, any feedback is helpful, particularly how I can improve things. Yeah, anyway, So I'll just say thank you, and so from thank you, John, at the end there. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, all of you. So from me, Adam Sutherland, in my tiny little shed somewhere in Scotland, and from my little Errogie Music Live company, I'm going to bid you all a very, very, very nice rest of your day. And if you were watching this in the future, I still wish you a very nice rest of your day. And yeah, come and say hi on my Patreon if you want. There's a free tier which doesn't cost you anything, so it's not like you're immediately getting charged. It's just a bit of a nice umbrella way of getting folk in who just, you don't miss anything basically, because there's so many things in social media, it's easy to miss things. And the Patreon thing, particularly the free tier, is a way of just kind of not missing any of my new stuff. So I will say goodbye. Thank you, Kate. Nice to see you in the sky, by the way, last week. And I have no idea what I'm going to do next week, but I'll be doing something. And I will say goodbye. So bye bye, everybody.